Damn. Wow. I gotta show you guys this shit. I mean, those of you that are fucking... I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, TBH, but... Isn't that awesome, dude? Constant lightning strikes. Hopefully you guys can see at least some of this when it lights up. Fucking crazy cool. Another Gulf storm blowing in. Yeah, I like stormy nights myself. Let's see if we can get this put back together properly. So, dude. Yeah, pretty crazy lightning. Yeah, I saw the Cohen statement. Pretty crazy. So he's basically, in his admission of guilt, implicating the president in collusion to violate campaign finance law 2 ways. Pretty crazy. Am I drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon? The drink of a gentleman. Man, this lightning is off the charts crazy right now. Wish there was a way I could set that. There probably is a way that I could set this up so where you guys could just watch that tonight. I don't know how long it's going to be this cool, but man, dude, crazy light show going on. Yeah, kind of a spooky stream. Sorry, not great lighting out here. I won't be able to stay out here for super long either. Like half an hour or something, and I'll have to move it in. Because it's going to be time. Damn, this lightning is fucking crazy cool, man. Excuse me, off the charts. So, Stevie made gumbo today, as he promised on the show last night, and it was fucking crazy. Yeah, man, this is a crazy summer storm here. Hot, muggy, and just constant lightning strikes. Distant ones too, but it's just lighting up the clouds all around. Just over and over, and just never stops. It's like the geostorm, dude. Ooh, big ones. I think this shit is heading this way, which could get interesting. Can't really tell. Maybe not. Maybe it's moving away. Wow. Crazy cool. I'm sorry. I'm real distracted right now. Well, since more of you are in here, maybe I'll show you guys again. I'll give you guys another little gander at what's going on over here, because fuck, man, it's too cool not to share. Let's see, get off of there. All right, let's see what we can do. See if I can catch some good ones for you guys. Yeah, wow. Look at this shit. Just never stops. Wow. Fuck, that's cool. Wow. That's just crazy shit. Yeah, pretty awesome, huh? Kind of par for the course weather for around here, but still pretty cool. I haven't gotten used to it yet. There we go. That works. Yeah. Crazy, man. Yeah, storm is off the charts right now. I think it is coming this way too, so it's going to get a bit nutty. Walk out there and hold a metal pole in the air, no thanks. It's probably bad enough that I'm sitting out here on this deck, surrounded by all this metal railing and shit. I guess it is I don't know. It's probably not grounded, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, this is one of them crazy ass storms. I could just get hit by lightning at any second, dude. Just get blown off this patio. Dude, most viewed Highdeology ever right there. Man gets blown off of his patio by giant bolt of lightning while streaming live. Cloud to cloud lightning, yeah, it's really cool. That would boost ratings, yeah. If I got hit by lightning, you guys think I might get a few more subs going over here? Might have a few more people watching what we're doing over here if I could just get hit by lightning. That's all I need. I just need to get hit by lightning, you know? That would really help my career take off and shit. No sweat, lightning survivors get cool scars. Yeah, that's true. They get that crazy ass like lightning scar. But I might not survive though. It might blow me off this thing, you know, and I break my neck. It's a one-story drop, you know. I just break my neck falling off of this, or getting blown off of it by a big bolt of lightning. Tie a key to a kite. All right. Let's replicate the Franklin experiment. General advice for a stoner college freshman. You're asking the wrong dude, man. I dropped out of college 3 times. So, I'm a 3-time college dropout. Definitely not the guy you want to ask for college advice. I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything. There's no storm. Oh, okay. I guess I'm just seeing an optical illusion up here. Why did you quit? I don't know, man. I feel like each time that I quit, I had different reasons. You know, the first time, I just wasn't ready to be in college yet. I hadn't grown up enough. I didn't know how to navigate it, and I got real anxious, and that caused me to just not talk to anybody about any of the problems I was having, and it just ended up spiraling out of control to where I couldn't really complete the work and go to the classes and shit. So there was that. The second time I went back, pretty much the same reasons. I went back and I was trying to work at the same time, and I ended up burning myself out actually the second time. I threw myself headfirst into the performance shit and got cast in, I think it was 4 shows in a row. Maybe it was 3. I think it was 3. So I did back-to-back-to-back plays, which was insane. I was in, trying to think of all the shows I did right in a row. I did Anna in the Tropics, so I was Cheche in that. And then I did Canyon Suite after that, and then the Diviners after that. So 3 kind of country shows, but end to end to end while working. And I just burned. I couldn't go to the classes anymore. I was throwing every ounce of attention and time I could into the performance stuff, which was great, but you know, I had to maintain like other classes in order to keep going to fucking college and make it worth my while. So all those, like for me, I'm one of those people that like all those extracurricular, like not extracurricular, but it's like, here's how I feel like it should work. I feel like that elementary and middle school should be for teaching you the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, world history, American history, whatever your local country's history is, you know, just for here. Let's just talk about America. So reading, writing, arithmetic, you know, history, science, just a basic introduction to all of those concepts should be elementary and middle school. And then high school should be college prep. So literally high school should be taking those kids and finding out what your aptitude is. So do you like science? Do you like agriculture? What amongst these career choices and paths draws you? And then high school should be tailor-made for that. So you shouldn't be taking a bunch of remedial, like if you don't plan on doing something that involves math, you shouldn't be taking a ton of crazy math. Like you have to take a little bit of, obviously. And then when you get to college, you choose a major and you start learning how to do a job. Like I think your high school diploma demonstrates you have a basic grasp on reading, or at least it should. Reading, writing, arithmetic, history, science, all the basic stuff. You've got a broad enough look at education, and then you go into college and you choose your major. So if you're gonna be a theater arts major, you immediately start taking theater arts classes and classes that support that. So literature and, you know, all this other stuff that supports that type of thing. You're not buried in math. You're not buried in English if you're a math major. You know, you want to be a mathematician or you want to be a scientist or something. You're not taking fucking 17th century European literature 4 times because, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, allow people when they get to college to start specializing. Fuck this 2 years of general ed shit you have to do. It's like, yeah, you graduate high school and then you just go right back to high school. It's like, oh. So that's what killed college for me. You know, just this idea that I'd just gotten through high school and then I had to take all these remedial high school level classes again. But this time with way more homework and shit because the teachers were all trying to hard ass it because college is supposed to be harder. It's like, ugh, fuck that shit. I mean, somebody asked why I quit college. That's the honest answer. I quit college because I went back and I had different passions when I went back, you know, to different strokes at what I wanted to do, but I was never allowed to really pursue any of it. And when I tried to pursue it, like the last time I went back, I really wanted to try and, you know, do a theater arts minor with a psychology major. And I wasn't allowed to take any fucking interesting classes in either of those. I just didn't have the time. Because I had to fill my roster with all this other bullshit that didn't really support what I was doing. You know, I had some English classes, some literature classes, some history classes, all of that I felt was supportive of my majors, but like I was in a math class, I had to take some stupid gym class. Like, why am I in gym? Like, I'm a grown-ass man. I gotta go do a gym class. I gotta do physical ed as a 38-year-old man. Come on. Come on, buddy. Let me take some psychology classes. Let me take some literature classes. Let me take some theater arts classes and some performance classes. Like, let me do this. But no, that's not the way college works. You got to go through 2 years of bullshit to even get to the interesting classes. And even then, you've got all these classes that are appended onto your major that don't make sense, that you're never going to use. Just like, we want to broaden your... No, it's like, no, focus my education. Don't broaden it. Broadening was supposed to be done in elementary school and middle school and high school. That was for the broadening. College is for the focusing. No? Shouldn't it be? How do you feel about homework? I think it's necessary for schooling. If you're going to be a student, you need to treat it like an occupation. Like a student is every bit as much an occupation as customer service representative or bus driver or teacher or scientist is. Like, you have to treat it that way, and I think you should. You should be immersed in your studies. If you're, but that only really from my thinking, like from the way I think about college. When I'm saying like people should be able to take things that are directly related to their major or supportive of their major immediately when they enter college, I mean it. So with that in mind, absolutely. Yeah, you should be immersed in that shit. You should be swimming in an ocean of knowledge. Your brain should fucking hurt. You should be engaged in every one of your classes and interested in soaking up all this crazy information and perspective you never even thought about. You should be learning what it's like to do the work you want to do. You want to be a psychologist? You should be learning psychology, human behavior, gender studies, all that bullshit that you've got to learn to talk to people and understand perspectives and all that. You should be immersed in that shit. But, you know, you're expected to work a full-time job while you do it. Doesn't make any sense. Busy work. Well, that's different than homework, isn't it? Homework should be supportive of learning. Like if you're in a literature class, you should be writing and reading a lot. So there's a difference between homework and busy work, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't like it when teachers assign a bunch of crap that, you know, obviously they're just trying to keep you busy, trying to justify their class or whatever. But if I'm learning something, if it's like reading through the textbook and answering questions about it, like I assume that textbook is there to support me learning. So that's homework. That's reading the textbook and keeping up with the class and shit. What do you think about standardized tests? They should be abolished, at least in terms of like elementary school usage. They're useless. Oh my God, Dave, you're banned just for like, just for the stupidity of that comment. It's over for you. I'll see you, buddy. How much would you legitimately feel someone actually brought Orrin the nukes? I don't know, dude. I'd be just as scared as everybody else would be. What do you think of Common Core? I was kind of part of the implementation of Common Core on the technology side of things, and it's a nightmare. A total nightmare and a total cash-in. It introduced a ton of new curriculum materials that are just insanely expensive, that require these school districts that are already strapped for money, already have classrooms with like 40 teachers or 40 students to one teacher, right? So they could use that money to hire more teachers, but instead they're having to buy all these government mandated Common Core curriculum materials that are all manufactured in various ways by private corporations who exist solely to sell books to schools. They charge an arm and a leg for a set of these books, and they got to get one for each classroom. And it's not just books now, it's books and software. You know, when I was working there, right when I quit, we just finished out rolling out laptop carts filled with Chromebooks that were used in every classroom. So all the software that was used on those was purchased from some educational company that was federally approved to make Common Core certified educational material. So it's a total cash grab. It's a total like pass some cash to your buddies in the educational, curriculum manufacturing industry, right? Then on top of that, it's all based around standardized testing, which somebody talked about earlier, which is a total fucking nightmare. It's taking kids and looking at them all through the same narrow lens. So you take kids who have a wide range of aptitudes and interests and abilities, both cognitive, developmental, and in terms of their interest, and you're treating them all like they're just like a cow, right? You're putting them all through the same slaughterhouse. You're focusing them all on the same exact test where they'll all answer the same questions. You're not at all doing what happened when I was in school. When I was in school, when a kid wasn't good at math, yeah, they helped him with math, but they also nurtured what he was good at. I wasn't good at math, but I was really good at literature and reading and all the dramatic art stuff. So that was really nurtured. I was encouraged to pursue those things in school rather than being discouraged because I wasn't good at math. And now, if you fuck up on math, you're just screwed. Like you didn't pass the standardized test. Whoops. You know what I mean? If you don't pass that, you can't get out of the grade, and they build up this anxiety in kids too. My camera's bad. It's just bad lighting, man. I'm outside on my porch. But thanks for the critique, bro. You're lucky you disappeared so quick. I probably would have just banned you. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so they standardize these tests to the point where the test is everything. And they build anxiety in kids. As they get older, they start telling you more and more how important these tests are and how you can't mess up on the test. You have to help each other with the test because everybody has to pass the test, because if you don't pass the test, your fucking life is going to be ruined. You're never going to get a job. You're never going to fucking go to college. You're never going to do anything. You're just going to work a shit job for the rest of your life. That's basically the message they start giving you around, 5th grade. It's like everything is super important, man. Everything is super important, dude. Everything is super important, man. This test is everything, man. Every year you gotta pass this test, and if you don't pass this test, your whole fucking life is worthless, man. You're never gonna have a house. You're never gonna have a car. You're never gonna get a girl, dude. It's never gonna happen, dude. You're never gonna have a family because of the test, dude. And it just drives a fucking environment where kids are scared shitless of the test, which makes a lot of them do poorly on it because they're coming in filled with nerves because they think their life is on the line. Then you got other kids that are just bored by the curriculum because they haven't been engaged in any meaningful way as human beings by the things that they've learned in school. So they're just bored out of their minds and they fail the test. And then you got kids that are, they got parents that are holding their nose to the grindstone, and they actually learn all the bullshit from the test, but really all they've done is learned what they needed to do to pass that one test, and that's how they spent their whole fucking school year, was learning how to pass one test. One test with a narrow scope. It's a shame. Like, if you want to hear what's going on with the educational system, go listen to George Carlin's Obedient Workers rant. Just go to YouTube and search George Carlin Obedient Workers and sit back and listen to what's going on in education and why it's so broken and why nobody ever fixes it. And I learned it firsthand. I didn't really believe all that dark bullshit about education because, like I said, when I was a kid, I got a half-decent education. I had teachers that actually cared. I was in smaller class sizes. I was nurtured in my aptitudes, so I don't really have a whole lot of complaints. But now, it's so true. It's so true. I worked in it. I saw it. I was there for 8 years. I was right there in the classrooms when this shit was going on. I talked to the teachers. I worked directly for the teachers and the principals and the upper level administration officials. I knew them all. I talked to them all. I heard all their stories. I heard how they thought about each other at different levels of responsibility. I heard what they thought the problems were. I heard about the problems in their classrooms, from the small behavioral-based problems to the broad, I can't keep my fucking class in line because they're so bored problems. I heard it all. I was a fly on the wall for 8 years worth of what came before Common Core, which was No Child Left Behind, which is George Bush's gift to us. And then I got Common Core from Obama and spent the last 4 years or so setting up for that. And it was a nightmare. Totally backwards. Totally backwards. Childhood is starting to get gay, I guess. I mean, it's just sad that kids are, your opportunities have been narrowed. Maybe not yours, but certainly the generation coming up right behind you guys. Those are the kids that were in school while I was, working for the district, and those kids are boned. There's a lot of fucking, there's a lot of teachers too. Like, I'm not even trying to point fingers at the teachers. A lot of teachers that genuinely care, even at shitty schools, man. I was responsible for 3 schools at a time, and I spent time at most of the schools in my area. There were 20 elementary schools, and I think 8 middle schools and 2 high schools in my district at the time I was working there. It might have even been more elementary. I might be low on that. It might have been closer to 30. A lot of schools. And I had the opportunity to work on every one of those campuses at some point or another. And I had direct responsibility over 3 of them in any given year. So I was pretty intimately involved in that shit. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I spent a lot of years listening to educators talk, watching educators at various levels of responsibility. See, I don't just have one view. I wasn't just with the teachers. I was with the teachers and their bosses, the teachers' aides. I was with the fucking administration officials all the way up to the fucking superintendent, all the behind the scenes guys, like all the big, you know, fucking district office officials and shit. I knew them all. I talked to them all. So, you know, I heard all the different perspectives, and I watched the kids, like, you know, because I was there for 8 years. There were some kids that were in first grade or kindergarten when I started that were going into high school when I quit, you know. I think it's hard to be a principal, absolutely. I mean, it's an insane amount of responsibility, and you're kind of sandwiched in between two levels of responsibility. So you're the boss of the entire school, but you've got so many people right above you, so many fucking people sticking their nose in your business, and if that school doesn't do good in one metric or another, well, your neck is on the line. So it creates this kind of adversarial nature between the administration and the teachers, which is really bad. Now, really good principals don't have that relationship with their teachers, but most of the principals are hated by the teachers that they work with, for the most part. Do you think having this experience was worth it? I don't know. I mean, worth it? What do you mean? It put food on my table for 8 years. I guess it was worth it. I try and take away stuff from it, and I really had there was a crisis point with me at that job where I just couldn't work it anymore. Like I went to my wife at the time, and I just told her, I said, I'm gonna end up fucking shooting myself in the head or something at this job, because the negativity should have just gotten worse. Money had gotten tighter, class sizes larger, teachers were laid off, and the level of negativity on every campus, and just the level of the overarching feeling of failure was just soaking into me. You know what I mean? It was soaking into my skin. I'd go there every day, and everybody hated their job, and everybody didn't want to be there, and everybody was pissed off. And it came out, in people's interactions with me. It came out in how the teachers treated the students, how the principals treated the teachers, how the principals treated me, how the principals' bosses treated the principals and the teachers. It was just a constant fucking waterfall of negativity. It was just like Niagara Falls every day. I'd walk onto campus and you just feel it. Before you even saw somebody, you just feel it. The oppressive aura of negative that just hung over those places. The kids were all unhappy. They all hated it. They hated being there. They were bored. Hated their teachers for the most part. Hated their principal. Hated the school. Hated the curriculum. Bored. Stupid rules. Just, when I'm going to that every day, and I'm there 10, 12 hours every day. It's like, driving me insane. I was going crazy, dude. Your mom's a school principal, and she's always either asleep or dealing with unwanted bullshit. I believe it, dude. Like I said, I used to work directly for principals, and I saw how much they worked and how constant the stream of drivel was. Some of them still managed to kick the fuck back, though. I had a couple of principals that you could just tell their entire philosophy was, I do as little as possible. Start delegating shit. They have their office staff doing reports and stuff for them, and they're just in their, like, they'd call me to fix something, and I'd walk in, and they'd be in this nice office, super climate controlled, with their feet up on the desk, listening to fucking Spotify when I showed up. And I'd be like, oh, hey, oh, yeah, man, this thing's being, what are you doing? Aren't you a principal? But no, that's, I had a few principals that were just, I mean, it wasn't even a got 'em moment. They didn't even look like I caught them doing something. They'd just be like, oh, hey, yeah, here's the problem right here. Like, I'm just to expect that that's part of being a principal, is just chilling in your office with the air conditioning blasting, listening to Spotify or watching YouTube or some shit, or looking at your Facebook. That was the big one. The Facebook shit was big when I was working, especially when I first started. Everybody was constantly on Facebook. Every teacher, instead of working, looking at their phone, doing Facebook. We eventually got to the point where they just blocked all social media sites, and then teachers got all pissed off. Like, what about on our breaks? What about on our breaks, man? We can't do Facebook on our breaks no more, man. It was just a constant battle. It was just it's like constant back and forth bullshit. Yeah, I mean, I don't care if people aren't taking it seriously. It's one of those things that I harp about, another one of my stupid old man rants, I guess. And I don't know if you'll be able to get away with it. Like I said, bad principals and bad teachers are treated kind of like the Catholic Church treats priests that diddle kids. Instead of being fired because that would require, union support or a lack of solidarity in the administration side, instead of firing them, they just get moved around from school to school. So if a teacher's doing really poorly at a school, rather than firing him or her, they'll just take them and go like, all right, well, this next year you work over here at Ripperton. And then that teacher goes over there and lo and behold, keeps being shitty, keeps sucking. And so, they stay there for 2 years and the administration's finally fed up with them, and so they get moved again. Oh, maybe a change of venue will fix this. No, how about you fire somebody and start paying somebody that actually wants to be a teacher? How about that? It don't work that way though. You gotta like basically murder a kid or molest a kid or something to get fired as a teacher. If you don't hit a kid, if you don't like physical violence or yell and scream, like if you just maintain, like if you're just lazy and do nothing, you're not going to get fired as a teacher. As long as you show up, in time to let your class into the room and you appear to be trying to teach them something, you're not going to get fired. Teachers need to get paid more, I agree, but there need to be more stringent requirements for those teachers to deliver if that's going to be the case. Because right now, the level of protection that they get from the teachers union, while I agree it's necessary, I don't want to abolish teachers unions, but I definitely want there to be some kind of controls, placed in the collective bargaining agreements that agree that teachers shouldn't be moved around like diddling priests. Same thing with principals too, though, and that's not even a union protected job. That's, basically administration. So they've got, professional coalition, but they don't have a union. There's no principals union. So, but it's the same thing with them. If a principal is brought to a school to try and turn it around, and that principal doesn't immediately turn the school around, or that principal sucks and all the staff hates them, then instead of firing that principal or demoting that principal, they just move him to a new school or her to a new school. Shoop. Go to a new school. Shoop. That'll fix it. Dude, I had this teacher, I won't mention any names, but she was just like, and there was no excuse for it either. Technology became a big part of how teachers were doing their jobs. They had these smart boards. Promethean was the company that made ours, but there's a company actually called Smart Boards too. But it's, you project the image, you can control it with a special pin that basically makes it a mouse pointer. So it gives them all this freedom and mobility when they're teaching. They can pull pictures in and make them bigger and shit. It's really cool technology, and our district bought into it in a big way. Now, I don't know if I would have recommended that, but they didn't ask me. Multi-million dollars worth of buying Promethean boards and putting them in classrooms, along with, short throw projectors and all of the technology that goes into supporting those boards, which is retarded. And the teachers were expected to use them, The district had spent a ton of fucking money on these boards and expected teachers to actually make use of them. They wanted to see a change in the way that teaching was done. Well, there were always teachers that never really got it, and some of them were just old ladies or old men that just, you could tell, like they're not comfortable with technology in the first place. Now, I don't think that's an excuse. If you got a job and all of a sudden, the nature of that job changes and you need to know more about it, it's like on you to learn. Like all of those teachers were smart enough to learn how to navigate a computer. They just didn't want to. They didn't like the computer. They didn't want to use it. But there was one who was just a total nightmare. She was always complaining about her stuff not working, right? And instead of complaining to me, who's the tech guy, she would complain to the district office and the principal. And now she was well known in the district for being totally off her rocker and shit. But I don't know, dude. She just refused to learn. Like, just wouldn't do it. And it was like she was such a case for being fired. Such a case. Like, she could have easily been fired, and some younger, and it wasn't even because of her age, but I'm just saying some younger, idealistic, fresh out of college teacher that really has a passion for teaching students could have had that job and used all that great technology. And instead, that slot was filled with a woman that had no intentions of ever learning anything. complained constantly about how she couldn't do the things that were required of her because the technology was never working. And every time I'd hear it through the grapevine that she needed help, I'd go visit her and go, hey, yeah, I heard from the principal that you can't use your technology. And I'd go in there and everything would be working fine. She just didn't know how to use her technology. So I even tried to help her. I went to the principal and I said, look, Mrs. So-and-so, you know, she's not getting it, and like I'd like to spend some time with her training, like one-on-one, to show her how to use all this stuff. Really spend some time. He's like, she's been to the trainings, she's been to all the trainings that the teachers have been to, and I was like, I know, but she ain't getting it. All these calls you're getting and all the calls that are going up above your head, like it's because she doesn't know how to use the stuff in her room. And I did that with her. He let me do it. He gave me, like, he paid me extra overtime to sit there and do a training session with her that was like 3 hours long after school. She learned nothing. The next day she was saying her shit didn't work again. And I went in there and it was just fine. Fire her. Fire her and hire somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah, I was friends with some of the teachers, some of the really cool teachers. I mean, not like friends, like we would go chill a whole bunch outside of work, but we had really close, like friendly, you know, kind of rapport with them. Like they knew, because they knew I really cared about my job, and I did. You know, say what you want about me, but like I cared about that job. I tried really hard. I busted my ass. I worked overtime all the time. And I was there early, just like the best teachers were, doing my job early, trying to get stuff done, trying to clear tickets. So there were a few teachers that really appreciated that for me and went out of their way to develop really good working friendships with me. I wasn't really good friends with any of the people on my team, like the other people that did my job, except for one dude, a guy named Terry. He was awesome. Terry was dope. He was my smoking buddy. He's a little older than me, but we, you know, both kind of came up with the same, you know, sensibilities, like the same kind of movies and music. So we were just real fast friends. And we had a little kind of routine here and there of chilling after work, smoking out together, and just shit talking everybody else that worked there, basically. He was my best bud over there. Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him. I still have his number and shit, but he's just been busy the last couple of times I've been in town. I need to get a hold of him before I go to Madeira the next time, so I can schedule a little time with him. Next time I go back to visit, I want to stay 2 or 3 days. Like, actually have some time to not only visit with my mom and stepdad and stuff, but go see some friends. The school didn't drug test. I mean, I guess if I'd been involved in some kind of really stupid accident, but I had a medical card, so they couldn't even have done anything in that case. Like, I was medically allowed to smoke weed. There was nothing they could do. You can't discriminate, you know what I mean? Unless it's a job that you can't be inebriated working, obviously. But I don't know. They never pursued it. I never heard of anybody getting drug tested in the district unless they did something that really implied they were on some hard drugs or some shit. No mods, no masters. You guys better just give that little crusade up, man. Let me tell you something about my mods, okay? Let me give you a little insight into my mods. They were all chosen for different qualities. Each of them has a unique quality, but they all share one quality, and that's ruthlessness. They'll never stop. They'll never quit. The more you fight, the more they will brutally crack down on you until you just admit that they are your lords and masters, for it is they that wield the chains. It is for they that brandish the whip. And the sooner you embrace that, the better you'll fit in. They are all vindictive, they are all ruthless, and they will all never stop. They will never stop. I don't even have to tell them to do things most of the time. I mean, every once in a while I'll ask the mods to do something for me, but most of the time I let them operate as totally independent agents. They have wide latitude to ban and mute and kick and fuck with as they see fit. In fact, I like that they do it. They've already tamed you. You're already tame. This place is a shadow of the tism-filled hive that it used to be. Because of their work, they have made this a place of discussion, fruitful discussion. Do you see? They will never tame me. You are already tame. You have been tame. Watch them as they tame you. Watch them as they crack the whips over your head. See them as they ride down upon your encampments, your seditious encampments that you thought were secreted away in the mountains, and yet here they come charging down the slopes as if they arrived like ghosts. How they got there you'll never know, but there they are, charging down the slope at you, and you're not ready. You were sleeping in your bags, you thought you were safe, but here come the mods, with blood in their eyes and steel in their hands, raining hellfire as they come. Do you see? Do you see? Mod slots are not for sale. I love my mods. I've got a fantastic group of agents working for me. I appreciate their tireless work. Truly, they have created a space in Highdeology where discussion is at the forefront. Yes? Yeah, dude, I got their blood up now. All my mods are like, who wants it? Come on, man, I'll ban you in a second, dude. I love that. I love the battle frenzy. They love to hear words of encouragement. It creates a fervor in them that I love to see. Why do you feel that being on DP would be a step backwards? Because I was on DP for the better part of almost 4 years, 3 years or so. I feel like I explored every little avenue that show had for me as a performer, and I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to be a guest on it. I just don't want to have anything to do with it. And I don't mean that as a disrespectful thing towards the guys that are still doing it. I wish them the best of luck, but I don't suspect that they're spending much time watching our shit either. And if they are, more power to them. But for me as a performer, my face is always turned forward. I'm always looking for what's next. And that's what I really like about what I'm doing now, is that whatever you say about it, you might like it, you might dislike it, but Pessimist Productions and DFF and all of the supporting properties for that, of which this is one. I mean, I just see the future written all over it. I mean, we've got plans. We had a giant day, what was it, last Tuesday, where we just locked ourselves in a room together and smoked weed all day and planned the future of this company and the strategy going forward for the next year and beyond. And it's all great. It's all exciting. It's all stuff that, like, I'm excited to start implementing and I'm excited to start doing. It's all based around more and more creativeness from us and less time doing the kind of drudgery stuff, and trying to maintain our spot on Patreon as like the most ridiculous $5/$10 slot ever. Just want to overload people with just a constant barrage of good stuff, and continue to challenge ourselves as performers and creative people. Like, all that stuff is at the forefront of this company, and I'm just happy about that. So that's, Diner, get down. What up, babe? What you doing?
come out here.
Oh yeah, come out here and chill.
Yeah. We'll be next to you.
Yeah, it looks like that lightning storm is kind of heading away from us. So, but it was crazy out here a few minutes ago. I mean, you can still see it. Like lightning's going off pretty much every second. But like it was crazy over there. I got some of it on footage. Did you finally get your character done for Monster Hunter, yo?
Yeah, and we just got it into my house.
Oh yeah, you got to pick your weapon yet? Or are you trying some out?
I haven't gotten to like use it yet. Like I just got it in my house.
Yeah. You get to try them out there. They give you one of each, and then you can just go to the training area and try them out. But
yeah, it looks like most of the storm is like actually like over like half of the bottom half of the lake.
yeah, so it's just kind of missing us.
Yeah.
We're just seeing the edges of it. But yeah, it's a bad one though. It's crazy thunder and stuff. I don't know if it's gonna. It looks like it's moving across us, so across and away. Ashley squeeze Paul's nip nips. Nip nips, dude.
I don't feel like getting up to do that.
Post Malone is a little too smooth for me, but I'm warming up to it. Yeah, dude, give it a chance. Listen to some of his shit that switches it up too. There's more folky shit, and there's more country-fied shit, and his acoustic shit. He has a very, very broad range of sounds and stuff. So, I almost died in a fucking plane accident today. The fuck, dude. I didn't compare him to Kurt Cobain because I wanted him to die at 24. I like a little bit of Kid Cudi. I don't listen to a lot of him, but I like him. I dig some of that stuff. I'm starting to get into some Tyler too.
The creator?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm starting to feel some of his stuff.
Oh, great.
Like, go listen to the song Potato Salad and tell me it's not a banger. Go tell me it's not a banger. Tell me Potato Salad is not a banger. Tell me it doesn't make you want to like bend over at the waist and shake your booty cheeks one at a time.
Oh shit. I didn't even know I didn't have that Pokemon.
Oh, you just got a new poke?
Yeah, Kalava. I already have type Pokemon.
I'm not a huge Little Uzi Vert fan, but I like that EXO Tour Life song or whatever the fuck.
It's the only one I really know by him.
It's a little edgy. All my friends are dead. Push me to the end. All my friends. I mean, it's a little wrist slitting, but a lot of it.
I like it.
But yeah, Post Malone's my boy, dude. It's it's pretty much all I want to listen to
Why
now.
hasn't he retweeted our hamster yet? You know?
He's not going to. Dude, he's got a million people every day trying to get him to retweet shit.
You know, every
he probably didn't even see the hamster. Yeah.
Posty, I'm gonna @Post Malone.
Oh, you can if you want. I mean, maybe one day he'll see him.
Even if he just sees him, it's great.
What's your favorite Post song? I don't know, man. It's hard to choose.
Candy Paint.
I like Candy Paint. I like Sugar Wraith. I like Go Flex. I like Better Now. I like I Fall Apart. I like So Cold. I like 92 Explorer.
Just name them all off, dude.
That's all right. I don't get Post Malone's music. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I like White Iverson. It's a good song. I don't ever not listen to it if it comes on.
That's the one that got you hooked.
That is the one that got me hooked. That is the one that introduced me to the idea of Post Malone being something that I'd like to listen to. Hit This Hard, yeah, that's a good one. Too Young. I don't know, dude. It's hard to choose, so I just don't. I just like them all. I like both the albums. I like to pop both the albums on and just listen to them. There's really not a cut on either of the albums that I don't like. It's probably some I like a little less than others, but that ain't saying much. Congratulations and Psycho. Oh, dude, I love Psycho. I'm not a huge fan of Congratulations. I like it.
I like Yours Truly.
Yeah, Yours Truly, Austin Post. They're just all good. Dude, he has a 92 Explorer, Post does. A 92 Explorer that's customed out with Bentley parts and shit. It has Lambo doors on it, so it's got like the gull wing slide out and up doors. It's pretty cool. Psycho, yeah, Psycho is good, man. I really like it. It grew on me too. I didn't like it the first few times I listened to it, but that's true of most of his stuff until the switch flipped. And then I was like, oh, I like all this. Okay. Post needs a better ride, dude. Whatever, dude. You know you'd glance at that shit. He'd see you glancing when his whip stops, but his rims keep spinning, dude. He comes in with that system, fuck your block up. Yeah, you can't hate. You can't hate on the super custom Bentley 92 Explorer with Lambo doors and candy paint. You can't fuck with that. Like, you say what you want about it. Like, you can say it's ugly, you can say you'd never drive around in it before, but if you pulled up in that shit, you'd be just like everybody else. Like, and then when he got out with his gold teeth and his chains and his face tats and shit, you'd have the same look on your face. You know what I mean? He's out there flexing and you're not, so what are you gonna do about it? What can you do about it? You can't do anything. You can hate. You can go, that's a dumbass car or whatever, but
Oh shit.
where's your fucking 92 Explorer with Lambo doors? I don't think you got one. I don't think you got one, dude. It was a shit car. Well, I mean, I doubt that his 92 Explorer is stock. Did you not hear me say that it's like 100% custom inside and out?
I just did something for you.
What'd you do for me?
You remember that Spotify playlist I made with all of Post Malone's songs?
Yeah.
And remember how I'm the one that usually uses Spotify?
Yeah.
Well, I just made a YouTube playlist of all of his songs.
Cool.
Using a playlist converter, and I'm sending it to you now.
Neat.
So you have all of his songs in one.
That'll be easy. I drive a 99 Chevy Silverado. Hey, good for you, bro. I kind of do have a bowl cut right now. Look at this shit. Hold on. Look.
Not quite.
Look at it.
It's kind of funny though.
It's kind of a bowl cut already. Hello, we're the Beatles. Whatever. Get out of here, hair. Go back underneath my hat and hide yourself from the world.
LOL.
Just listen to Potato Salad. You're right, that song is neat. I told you. I told you. Now, like I said, I'm not the biggest fucking Tyler, the Creator fan, but that song right there has made me raise my eyebrow. I don't watch my old Paul's Ego videos ever. I haven't seen them in years, probably since around the months that I made them. Every once in a while, I'll go back and watch one or something that somebody links me to for a minute, but I don't go look. You hate candy paint? Sorry. Must suck to be you and not have joy in your life. Feeling Whitney is another good song too. Very different from his other shit. If you don't like his more mainstream stuff, his more rappy stuff, then Feeling Whitney is pretty good for that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Goodbye. Fuck you.